Good morning, everyone. Andy Larkin here. Thank you for joining the webinar today. Probably just going to allow one more minute or so for the final people to join. So I'll just pop myself on mute to allow everyone to see the presentation from the beginning. So just another minute or so and then we'll get kicked off. Okay, good morning again, everyone. Andy Larkin here from the Access Recruitment Division. I'm going to introduce you today to Access Recruitment CRM, but specifically some of our temporary recruitment workflow. One screen in particular I want to show you is incredibly popular amongst our clients that run high volume, fast-paced temp recruitment desks. That can be in a broad range of different industries, education, healthcare, industrial, and many more. Just before I jump straight into the software, I just want to do a little bit of scene setting and introduce you to the kind of wider offering that Access can provide you. So it is much more than just recruitment database and recruitment software that Access can offer. You can see on screen now, following an acquisition approximately a year ago of Volcanic, we can now offer bespoke website design from our colleagues at Volcanic. Recruitment CRM, you can see here on the title, that's what we're going to be looking at today. And this is also sometimes goes hand in hand with agencies that are doing temp recruitment, especially in highly regulated sectors. We have a product called Access Screening that can do reference, that can automate referencing and compliance checks and background checks. We also do, we also do a pay and bill element to our product range. So high volume payroll and invoicing. And also we have a product called Access Financials. But today really is about the recruitment CRM element and specifically high volume, fast-paced temp. I'll also give you an introduction to what we call Access Workspace. So this is our unique platform that brings all of your business critical recruitment software requirements together in one unique single sign-on environment. Outside of those business recruitment, business critical applications, we also offer complementary software packages for your staff's expenses, holiday booking, and additional HR software as well. So we have a long history and heritage in the recruitment industry market. Some of the names you can see on screen are long-standing clients, and it is over 1,500 clients now that use our software day in, day out, and have done for over 20 years now. So I'm going to go straight into the recruitment software, straight into recruitment CRM. So it's often overlooked, sometimes goes without saying, that this is all cloud-based, web-based, and what that means to me is it's a website, so I can access it from a browser. I'm using Chrome, but it's not only exclusive to Chrome. You can use any browser. It also works on tablets, so iPads and things like that. So it's important to make that clear, because that isn't always the case with other providers, that they offer genuine, true cloud-based solution. So we'll come back to this screen, the scheduling screen, in a second. I said I'd give you a bit of an introduction to what we call Access Workspace. And Workspace will likely be the first thing you see when you log in the morning. And it can mean different things to different people depending on their role within a business. But this is a typical screen you might have kind of hit you between the eyes first thing in the morning when logging in. Now that might mean for some people, they want to know exactly where they are from a KPI perspective, be it week to date, month to date, or even year to date. So that comes part the recruitment CRM package, as does this app here, which is our recruitment CRM CV drop zone. So we can make it incredibly easy to create candidates in the database just by grabbing a CV, dragging and dropping it, and it will create your candidate and take information off their CV to create their record card in the database. What you can see here is one of those additional pieces of software I mentioned. This is our expenses platform. So if you do have members of staff that incur and wish to claim expenses, they can do that from this platform. And this is our holiday booking platform called Access Teams here. So what you can clearly see we're creating here is your business on a page, one place where your consultants can log in and not only see the traditional metrics they might be measured by in recruitment world, but they can see other things that are important to their life as a recruiter within your business. So let's just skip. You might just see across the top here these tabs. So you can have as many Workspace tabs as you like open. I like to have the Recruitment CRM open on one, but it is just one click to move back to Access Workspace. So for the purposes of today, I really wanted to focus in on the kind of bread and butter functionality that our system offers a recruiter that is running a fast-paced temporary desk. So I'm going to kind of jump in at the deep end, if you will. I'm not going to show you specific candidates screens today or specific client screens. They will of course be there. I'm going to show you what workflow looks like. How quick can you add a job? How quick can you find relevant and potentially compliant workers and get them placed and confirmations out to them? So I'm going to build this screen up slowly because for some of our clients they can be managing hundreds and hundreds of different opportunities and candidates. So we're going to go build up slowly to that point. So across the top of this scheduling screen, you can pick your start date. So you can look forward from this particular day, obviously defaults to today's date. You can set the duration you want to look at. So, lots of our clients are in the education space, work on daily bookings and work day by day. So we are at the moment just looking at 1 day. However, you can quite quickly change that to look at 7 days, a week out, if that's the kind of view you want to get. So we're on we're on Tuesday today, Wednesday, Thursday, there's the weekend, and so on. Anything color-wise you see on the screen, green means it's a field requirement, you've done your job there, red, unfilled, and blue is reserved, and we sometimes refer to that as penciled in or tentative. I'm just going to bake this back to 1 day. So each one of these lines you can see with the different job title. There's a nurse role, a warehouse operative role, supply teacher role, and an admin role. Of course, those will be relevant to you and your particular business. Then you've got the times of the day. So you can default it to start whatever time of the day you like. I've got mine going by hour, starting at 6:30 in the morning. So here we go. So for this nurse role, they require one person, hence why it says one there, and it is a day shift. But you can actually change that up here if you want the specific times on there. You can just call it a day shift if you don't want all the kind of times on the screen. So they require one person for this nurse role. 3 people are tentatively booked in for this warehouse operative role. So that's something I prepared earlier. If you click on it, it will slide out from the right-hand side of the screen and give you the kind of finite detail on that particular booking. And I'll show you how easy it is. The people I've tentatively, and I'll show you how you can get people tentatively booked in a second. But if I go to confirm applicants, what it's actually going to do at this point is look at the 3 people I've already tentatively booked into that role, do a compliance check on them. So we won't get into the nuts and bolts of compliance today, but it can stop people from being placed in a particular role if they do not have the specific document or the number of different documents required, or if something has expired. Typically, again, for clients in education, that might be a DBS check, but that could be anything with an expiry date. It can flag them, and actually it can stop you placing people if they do not meet the compliance that you've dictated on that particular job. I don't have any kind of compliance on this particular role, so I'm just going to say, yeah, I want to confirm those 3 people. Hit OK. It'll just confirm, do the compliance check now. They've all passed. It will go to green, and then something else, a nice little subtle but important touch we've added is the ability to get a text message out to those 3 people very quickly. So we'll just say yes, we want to send a confirmation text to those 3 people. Pick a template, so you can template what the text is going to say. Typically it'll be something along the lines of this. Hit send, and then a text will go out It's a branded text message, so in our demo environment it says from the Access group. That would be your company name, and it will confirm to each one of those people on their phone where they're going, who they're asking for maybe, and what time they need to turn up. And of course now you can see that shift's gone green, and there's another filter up here where you can quickly remove field requirements, field shift, field jobs, whatever you might call them in your world. You can remove them from the screen, so you're just focused in on what you need to continue doing, filling these unfilled vacancies. We'll bring them back for the time being. So to introduce the lower half of the screen here, and it's up to you, it depends how big your screen is, exactly how you have this set up. This is where you can start loading applicants into this screen. So this could be something as simple as, for this administrator role, we can run what we call an Automatch. So that will quickly find me all the administrators in my database that are compliant, available, and within a certain distance that you can change to that particular job. So for this administrator role for Newport Group, the role's in Basingstoke. So what we have now is a list of people that are available and nearby that could potentially do that role. Clicking on any one of their names brings up again all their information. And it can be, and I know in a real world scenario there would need to be phone calls made, there would need to be text message or maybe mail shots sent, which you can all do off the back of this screen. For the purposes of today, we'll assume that's happened and we know the person that can maybe undertake this role. That's going to be Colin Alexander here. And we are at a point now where you can drag Colin, drop him into that requirement. Again, it will make the relevant compliance checks if there was compliance built into that particular role. There's none in this case, so we've been able to place Colin successfully into that role. Clicking on it, we can now see Colin Alexander as an administrator, start time, end day, and I can go and view that placement if I want. And again, if I just change this to a 7-day view, we can see now on Tuesday, that was Colin, who we know we've just placed here, but there still is a requirement for the Wednesday, the Thursday, and so on. I only placed him on that particular day. However, if we take Victoria, just because she's at the top of the list here, and rather than dropping Victoria onto the specific shift or day, as I did with the previous candidate, we drop her onto this job. It recognises or understands that we might want Victoria to carry out more than just one particular day's work. So you can pick the days you'd like her to do, untick the ones she maybe can't do. I'm going to leave them all ticked in this case and hit OK. So now you'll see the Wednesday and the Thursday all go green. Again, it's doing the compliance check. And now she's successfully placed. And again, we can send out that we can send out that text message confirmation, or we could send out more traditional email confirmation, because it will collate all your documents, call them what you will, typically a contract, confirmation, email. It will collate all of those, brand them up, merge in pay rates, charge rates, and you can send those out to candidates and clients alike. So what I've been showing you so far is typically a one-to-one placement, so they need one person, you place one person. There is a high volume element to this as well. So it works in a couple of different ways. When I say high volume, it can genuinely be hundreds and hundreds of people placed daily. It's the same, I'm just about to show you, just there's 3 people that are required for this role, but what I'm about to show is exactly the same process if it was 300 or more. Obviously, you don't want to be dragging 300 people. Dragging 3 people isn't all that difficult. However, if you click on here and go to what we call Multifilm, and the results that you've loaded in the lower half of the screen, we can now pick from a simple tick box list of the 3 people we know are going to do that particular requirement. And again, at this point, it's doing all the compliance checks for us. So again, we'll see that 3 kind of go green because we've placed 3 people in there. Other things you can do from this screen. So you've seen me kind of run a quick auto match, but if you see here where it says filter by name, role, location, this is where you can start typing in. If you're looking for, let's say we're looking to fill a labourer role, just start typing labourer. It will bring all your labourers onto the screen with importantly, with their diary, kind of where each one of them is. And if you need specific candidates that have the labourer skill set, you can then start putting in where they live, so that their postcode or their location, and again it will apply another filter and now only show you all labourers within a certain distance of that you can define within that postcode. And again, you can manipulate the screen. If you just want to look at more candidate information, you can just drag the candidate element of the screen up to the top. And now I've just got a candidate screen that I can work from. So there are lots and lots of different permutations and different ways of doing what I've been able to show you today. We would invite you to reach out and get in touch if you'd like a one-to-one demo, because we understand that every business works slightly differently, and there's lots of configuration that can be done on this screen to tailor it to your specific needs. Beyond this screen, there is a timesheet element to the system. So everyone we've placed, we can create timesheets. We have an online timesheet portal where candidates and clients can enter and approve hours, and that will come back into the CRM, and then that can from there go on to feed payroll systems. But for today, it was really about this one particular screen showing you how easy it is to schedule people, be it one person or multiple people, and run simple searches and really kind of run that temp desk from one screen. So I'll open it up to questions now. If anyone had any, you can use the chat facility to put your questions in there. I've got a couple coming through. I'm just going to see if there's any more coming through. So yeah, I can see one question. Here we go from John. So yes, so the question is it web-based, is it cloud-based? Absolutely. So I describe it as it's a website, so you can get to it the same way you would get to LinkedIn or BBC News. As long as you've got the URL, you can access it from any browser, and as long as you've got an internet connection, you can get to it from anywhere. There you go. I think a couple of other people are typing questions. Kelly, yeah, I think we might have just touched on this at the end. Yes, there is an online timesheet portal that is real-time linked to the database. And there is also a candidate and client portal. So again, we can build into your website an area for candidates and clients to log in to do much more than just approve and review timesheets. So candidates can upload documents, clients can submit new requirements. We can really blur the lines, if you like, between what you've seen today, CRM software, and your website, and kind of make them one and the same thing for candidates and clients to easily engage with you. Next question: how quickly can it be set up? So every company is a little bit different depending on your requirements, things like data import and the like. So we'd need to talk one-to-one about how quick it can go. But we have a proven implementation methodology. So things can move quickly if that is your want and that is your need to be able to do that. However, we're all about kind of delivering really successful projects. So we certainly won't cut corners on projects. But people are sometimes surprised at how quickly we can get the database set up and get people onboarded. We really leverage things like digital learning to make that kind of process of getting up to speed on the system really important. Oh, another question on training. What do we do for training? So we do a lot for training. Again, it's kind of on a case-by-case basis. We'd like to talk to you about how you and your business like to how you've implemented previous software, how people like to learn in your business. But I will quickly just show you it's not necessarily specific to temporary workflow, but built into the system. And we really think this is unique and separates us from anyone else. Something we call walkthroughs. So I've just clicked on the walkthrough button. There's currently 54 different walkthroughs in there. And this is much more than just a video that plays that tells you how to do something, and it's not just bullet pointed guide on how to do something in the system. So if I was new to your business and I'd forgotten or I wanted to learn how to send a CV through the system, the walkthrough, if I click on the send CV on, will literally do what the name suggests. It will walk you through exactly how you send a CV, pointing out every step of the way what button you need to click on. So you can see here it's click on the send CV button, click on send CV. So there's tons of inbuilt help, tutorials, and what we call walkthroughs to help you get up to speed really quickly with the system. Another question coming: is there an app? So what you're seeing is all built. It's web-based, so it scales nicely to touch devices. So I sometimes run demonstrations on an iPad. I happen to be on a Windows machine today. So yes, it'll work on iPads, and yes, there is a dedicated Apple iOS app for this as well. So I don't think there's any more questions coming in. As I say, if you did have any follow-up questions, you've obviously registered for the webinar. My details will come out directly to your email address. So please feel free to come back directly to me. It's Andy Larkin. The email address if you wanted it sooner is andy.larkin@theaccessgroup.com. So thank you for everyone for joining today's webinar. It really was just a small insight as to what we can offer in terms of scheduling around temp bookings. So please feel to reach out and we'll be able to do a one-on-one demo and go into it in more detail. But thanks for joining today. Hope everyone has a good day. Thank you.